I don't call it censorship though. That's the thing. It's a company. It's not a government entity as far as I'm concerned. But Facebook. You gotta understand the original intent of Facebook. Facebook DNA started with its co-founder, who is currently running it right now, with already a shady agenda. As far as the evidence that I've seen during the founding of Facebook, it sounds to me as though its founder is very shady at everything that he does. And so there's really no tangible. I don't know him personally, but if I came across a business partner, if I came across someone with the characteristics of Facebook founder, I probably want to do business with him because that kind of characteristic creates enemies, and I prefer not to associate myself with characteristics like because it sounds to me as though based on the evidence that I got at hand, it sounded like that he kind of played his friends, the guys who wanted him to help them create this new product. So with that kind of characteristics and that kind of personality, you infuse that DNA into the company. So the company is going to be shady. The company is going to be just as shady as its founder. You know what I'm saying? So uh, you know, with that, you got to also look at Facebook's business model. Facebook has a business model where it attracts corporations and advertisers to advertise on its platform because Facebook remind me of the Walmart of users. It's like the Walmart of data. You know what I'm saying? And companies go into this Walmart of Facebook to go shop for users. So the users is not the customers that Facebook is concerned about. Because how would if you think about the big overall scheme of things, I don't pay you a damn dime to go on your platform. So who are you? Who am I for you to care about what goes on the platform that I go on for free? And it's not cheap to hold my data. It's not cheap for me to go on your website when you have a server to support it. That costs money. The cost of energy, the cost of staff, the overhead costs that Facebook has to deal with. Someone has to pay for that. And so their bread and butter is their advertisers, not the user. The user is the product that's on the shelf, and Facebook is advertising to corporations to say, here's a all you can scan buffet of users that we have that you can advertise to or whatever whatnot. So if advertisers is their bread and butter, you got to look at how much percentage of those advertisers are pharmaceutical companies, how much percentage of those advertisers are come from the medical industrial complex, the military industrial complex. The right now the current investigation regarding Cambridge Analytica. A lot of things are being exposed of what Facebook was intended for. So when you look at the big picture, then you got to ask yourself, okay, so should I satisfy my cash cow, which is my advertisers, these corporations, by restricting what the users see because the advertisers are paying for exposure. Okay, so if I'm paying for my product to be exposed to the masses on Facebook, and they're becoming more aware of holistic alternatives to medicine and treatments, things like that, and they're getting information that is blowing the lid off of vaccines or certain situations like that, and that's threatening my dollars. Okay, what you're showing the users, this is me, the corporation, talking to Facebook. You are showing the users a reason not to buy my products. So why should I spend my money on your platform when your users are being aware of what my products is doing to them? Therefore, you have a choice to make, Facebook. You can either you can either hamper down your stock price and get your shareholders upset by catering to the users on your platform that is looking forward to be informed about what's going on with their bodies and what's going on with their foods and what's going on with vaccines, whatever, and push me away. Or you can continue getting this money and restrict what your users are using and only let what I'm paying for show them why vaccines are important and why medication is important and why this is important, why that's important. If you don't do that, we want you to be our propaganda machine. And if you choose not to be our propaganda machine, then we are going to stop spending money on your platform. So, do you blame the medical industrial complex? Do you blame the military industrial complex? Do you blame all these corporations for feeling like their investment in advertising on Facebook is threatened when Facebook is allowing their users to look at other alternatives? Do you blame the company for like rethinking about spending money on Facebook? Right? So you got to look at it from different angles. You got to look at it from the corporation's point of view. You got to look at it from Facebook's point of view. So when they do that, Facebook got a decision to make. Facebook says, "Oh, well, the users are really not spending a dime anyway. They're cheap as fuck." You know, so they really, they get up. I think that was a test for Facebook back in the days. I don't know if you remember. Back in the days, they used to say, "Oh, like and share and comment, so we know that you're an avid user of Facebook, so that we don't charge you a dime." I think it was testing it out to see how cheap their users was. So why would you satisfy your cheap users, which have been the product the whole time, over your advertising partners that's spending millions and millions of dollars every single year to go on your platform? Who are you going to satisfy the most? Who are you going to satisfy? It's like you and your house. Whoever don't pay your rent, do you kick them out? Obviously. So it's like it's like Facebook is like this building, and corporations are renting space in that platform. Facebook has to satisfy their tenants and saying you're here so that you can feed off the data of our users. So they have, they have to make a decision who they're going to please. So I am not surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised that they waited this long to censor certain information that is threatening their advertisers' bottom line. I, I don't care who you are. I don't care what company you are. You should make decisions that is best for you, your company, your family, your family's best interest, your financial best interest. That based on my principle of how I do business, I think it's important for you to make that decision for yourself too. If you feel like if you're living a lie, okay, you want it to prolong a little bit longer, do what you need to do to prolong the lie. The truth is going to come out eventually. But if you're in the business of telling lies, if you're in the business of being in a lie, then be it. Don't be lukewarm about it. Just be it. I think Facebook is trying to satisfy its users by telling them one thing, but if you look at it right, if you look at the writings on the wall, you can obviously see that Facebook is trying to satisfy their advertisers. Just like media, when you turn the media on, look at how many commercials that come on. You see a lot of pharmaceutical commercials, a lot of financial commercials. There's a reason why. Therefore, if I come on the network and I say, "Oh, here's a financial reason why the banks are keeping you down," and whatever like that, they're not going to show me on television because I'm threatening their advertising. It's all about advertising. It's all about advertising. If you want to know who's the agenda behind these corporations, look at who advertise on their platform. So yeah, it makes sense that they're censoring anti-vax posts and things like that. So what does that have to do with you, the user? I would say personally that I rarely go on Facebook anymore because I refuse to be a product. I refuse to be their product. I do share on Facebook every once in a while, but the interaction has dried up since the past 3 or 4 years that I rarely go on there. I found out that I had like 10 friend requests and I haven't even accepted one in the recent week or so because I'm not on there. I feel like I understand where corporations are coming from, where I don't pay for advertising on Facebook. So because I don't pay for advertising on Facebook, my friends and family might see my post, but there's no interaction there. And so it's like, well, I like to be on a platform where I get interaction because I like to engage, I like to talk, I like to ask questions and I ask questions, whatever. I like for us to engage with each other. And if you just don't engage me in one platform, why should I spend my time there? Same thing with corporations. If I'm not, if I'm spending my dollars on your platform and it's not hitting anything, I'm not getting customers. Why should I spend my money on your platform? But on Instagram, I get a lot of engagement. That's why I'm constantly on there because I'm talking to my customers. We're talking to our. I'm sorry. We're talking to our customers, whatever. But it's all organic. But I know how to get off the beaten path from Facebook if I want to be informed about certain things. I know for a fact that Facebook have censored some information that I wanted to learn about. There's a lot of pages on Facebook that they purged that I used to follow and I used to get some knowledge and information. Therefore, I didn't get upset with Facebook. Well, at the beginning I did. At the beginning I did. But then I read their terms and conditions and I realized that I am allowing them, as long as I'm using their platform, I'm allowing them to sell my data. I'm allowing them to sell all this other stuff. So that's why I rarely share information on Facebook. But on top of that, I realized who their audience was from the beginning. And I mentioned earlier, I said that Facebook started out as a shady company because their co-founder was shady. So therefore, he's telling you one thing, but they're doing another. That doesn't surprise me. Thing is that I have a mind, I have a consciousness, I have a common sense to know that if I feel that you are being shady, I just refuse to do business with you. I do have friends and family like real family friends on Facebook that I personally interact with, but overall, 90% of the people that's on there don't even know who I am. You get what I'm saying? So I think Facebook really destroyed the fundamental or organic reason behind friendship. Said, "Are we friends?" Now these days people think about Facebook, we say friends. But I guess I grew up in the era where when I say you're my friend, I really meant it, and we hang out together and watch TV together, whatever like that. So that kind of like I think Facebook kind of hampered down that friend, the quality of what a friend really is. You get what I'm saying? So I do expect them to censor anti-vax commercials because majority of their advertisers are pharmaceutical companies that make vaccines. You get what I'm saying? So I highly recommend people to go on toxichunger.com. That's TOXICHUNGR.com, which TFitness also contribute on there. We share our thoughts on certain things. Go on there and we show you different websites that you can go to. But sometimes you just have to get off the beaten path in order for you to do your own research and realize where you're going at. And I would tell anybody like always, I would say that it's important for you to go by your intuition, go by your gut, go by your instinct, and to figure out if Facebook is for you or not, and if you have to go off the beaten path. And lastly, I'll say this, and I'm gonna go that when the next time you get upset that Facebook is not sharing the whole truth or they're showing fake news, which basically to me, fake news is simply information that you disagree with and it interferes with your status quo and it interferes with your daily habits, it interferes with your deep rooted belief system. So anytime somebody shares news with you, you disagree with it, of course you're going to call it fake news. Everything's fake news. You might as well call everything fake news. But the question is, when is it not fake? When you agree with it? Obviously. So I will end it with this that Facebook started out shady with a shady co founder, and that Facebook started out as a online campus hangout website. That's it. Stop there. Online campus website where students can hang out at. Now, when was it that you started looking at Facebook to be informed? You tell me that. And I think that that was my worst decision, is to use Facebook as a news source instead of just looking at it the way it was intended to be, an online college hangout with friends who don't want to be informed but strictly entertained. It's literally a circus out there, and I look at Facebook as one big, huge, big top. Now, on a lighter note, I just got through ripping Facebook apart from censoring and stuff, but I like to keep the balance equal, and I have to keep it equal. Okay, so I gave you guys the negative side, so let me give you the positive side of Facebook. Okay, first, I would say that I know I'm not the only one. There's probably a plethora of you listening to this who have met long lost friends, long lost family members, loved ones, connected with people that you thought you would never see ever again. So I have to say that Facebook, among other social medias out there, Twitter, I'll give you some props to, and all of these other social medias, have brought a lot of people together. I would say that. And the other positive is the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Okay, bar none. I met my fiance on Facebook. So I really thank Facebook for making it easier for me to connect with my fiance. I really appreciate it. It changed my life, and I'm just truly grateful for it. And it produced an amazing business partner on top of that. And at the moment where I could get informed by Facebook, I'm truly grateful that at the time when I first began the platform, I connected with information that have given me so much value. I'm using it today with my businesses. So I thank Facebook for that. If it wasn't for Facebook, my fiance wouldn't have connected with a person that shared her a product that has helped her so much with her health. And if it wasn't for this platform, they would never possibly have got connected. I was joking with her earlier and said, "Oh, because we was talking about, well, if it wasn't for Facebook, would we ever met?" And I said, "Yeah, through MySpace." Or if it was easier for us to meet on MySpace, I'm not sure, but it has truly connected me with long lost family members and long lost friends that is continuing today. So again, I don't want to rip Facebook apart completely. That's the positive side of Facebook, and just kind of mix it up. Be fair about it, and just mix it up on that point. And so, what you got? What are your thoughts about this overview of Facebook from a negative point of view and from a positive point of view? Go ahead and share your thoughts below. Thank you for listening.